Hey everybody, welcome to Bush Weasel's Hobby Stop. I am your host, Bush Weasel. In the build room today is the Mobius Models 1972 Ford F350 4x4 tow truck, high side version in 1/25th scale. I'm excited to build this kit, so let's get right into it. So grab some popcorn and candy and sit back and enjoy the video. So to start, let's take a look at the box art here. Very nice box art. Maybe we'll get an idea of what kind of color scheme we want to go with, because at this moment I have no idea. I got some ideas on what I want to do with it, but what color I don't know yet. Alright, box art looks good. Let's take a look at some of the styrene. And there's a lot of it. I think in total this thing had more than 20 sprues of parts, which really was exciting. This is my first video with this new overhead camera, so I'm not really familiar with all of the controls. So it's bouncing up and down and back and forth. The detail in the styrene is exceptional. I mean, these door cards and these seats are just crisp. Lots of extra parts on these sprues as well. I believe a lot of the parts, well, not a lot, I'll say some of the parts on these sprues are on here for different kits. So they just have to throw the same sprue into a different box and it's ready to go. So if you like extra parts, which I do, and I don't know who doesn't, these Mobius truck kits are great for that. At this point, it's really hard to keep straight, you know, which sprues you looked at already, so it's a little overwhelming. My best advice would be just to take it one step at a time. Here's something I really like. It's a separate transmission, separated from the engine. It makes it a little easier to paint and adds just a touch more complexity to the model. I really like that. Here are some wheel backs and what looks like a visor, which is really cool. This sprue contains just a ton of parts for the boom and lift point system on the truck. Should be fun. Some of the box parts, textured plate, in the bag here we've got some gold chain and some wire, string actually, for the cables on the boom lift. Here's the body, the main cab. It looks very, very good. There are some old lines that I'm going to have to address in there, but overall it looks really good. Tires look pretty good. Good tread on them. We'll darken them up a little bit one way or the other. Well, not darken them, we'll dull them up some. Here's a decal card. I don't think I've successfully put a decal on a model in over 30 years, but very detailed. I do like that. Here is the sprue of clear pieces, and they all look very nice. I'll keep them right in the bag so they don't get scratched up. Here's the beacon. I'm gonna figure out what color I want to paint that, orange or red or yellow. Here's the chrome tree. Very nice chrome. However, a little bit too shiny for me. I'll probably strip this down and make it a little less toy-like. Lots of chrome in here though. Lots of extra pieces. A couple different mirrors. Looks like they're the same, but alright, that takes care of the styrene. Let's dig into the instructions. Actually, sheet 2 of the instructions. It comes with a color code in case you want to match it up. I still have no idea what color I want to make this thing. Here is sheet 1. Now it tells you to cut part of the frame off, and I've watched videos where guys cut it too short, so I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait until I can get the box put together and put on there to find out exactly where I want to cut that off at. Working on the axles, I glued them together, and there were some seam lines in there created from the glue that I wanted to take down, so I sanded those off, and they turned out really well. On the transfer case, however, the instructions say that there was a tab that you could align to the chassis, but that tab wasn't there, so I had to eyeball it. So watch your kit and be careful. Pay close attention to the instructions here. Some of them are a little hard to follow. A little bit of flash here that I want to take off as well. But test fitting the parts, everything fit fairly well together. Had no problems with most of it. So getting into the chromed parts here to determine which ones I want to strip down and which ones I'm going to leave. It's all really shiny, and I'm not crazy about that. Although some of the parts I will leave, but most of them I think I'll strip down. Looking over at the box art, I think I like those black wheels a lot better than I do the chrome ones, so I'm going to strip those off. So I'm going to try to strip these off using the LA's Totally Awesome. You can get this at the dollar store for, I don't know, a couple bucks, which isn't really a dollar store, is it? Anyway, I'm going to throw it in there. I'm going to soak them for a couple hours and see what happens. A couple hours later, I take a look and not a whole lot of action going on. So let me give them a stir and see where I can go from here. So for this build, I'm going to be using the Tamiya cement, a combination between the regular and the quick setting extra thin cement. Then I'm going to start cutting off some parts from the sprues and start on the engine. Be sure to go through your instruction sheet because some of the parts, like I said, are extra in these kits, and so they are specific to the model. So I suggest cutting off the parts that are called out in the instructions, leaving the rest on the sprues, or vice versa, whichever you prefer, but don't get the parts mixed up. So here I'm using some sanding sticks to break down the edges on these on any kit, on any plastic part. Actually, you're going to have a high edge wherever you have a ridge or a separation where the part begins and where the part ends. So I'm going to trim those off, test fit them, and make sure everything fits flush and flat. A quick double check of the instructions, and the engine is about as far as I can take it. The rest needs paint, so what I'll do is I'll gather up all the parts so far that are ready for paint. We've got the engine, the cab, and the frame ready to go. On to the next. So a couple hours have gone by again, and the chrome parts still have a lot of chrome left on them, so I'm not really impressed with that LA Totally Awesome, although I'm sure it works because I've seen other guys use it in videos. But I'm impatient. I'm going to kick it up a notch and throw it in some oven cleaner. It may seem like there's a lot of flash on these parts, but there really isn't. This is a really clean model. I'm just really particular on flat surfaces, no seams or mold lines. So if you wanted to, you could certainly get away with putting these all together as is. The dash did have some considerable warping on it, or something. It was kind of wavy, and it took a little bit extra sanding on the top surfaces to get it right. But eventually it came out all right. This camera really doesn't pick up the detail, but there is quite a bit of detail in that dash. It looks really good. I'm going to finish cleaning up some of these parts and move on. With the interior components all cut out and trimmed up, I'm ready to move on to the next thing, which is the transmission. This is pretty fun. I'm really enjoying this kit. So last year I started building again after, I don't know, 30 some years of not building. And so the kit that I bought was the 1970 Monte Carlo lowrider, simply because my first car was a 1971 Monte Carlo. I put that together and really got to enjoying building again. I started watching videos and I found this Mobius tow truck kit in one of the videos, and I knew that I had to have it. It was something that I really look forward to. I actually bought it last spring, hoping to get at it, but I had a few things hold me back, and I didn't get back to it till this October. And the only thing that I had done to it was open the box and took a look at the parts, and that was about it. So I was really looking forward to getting back behind the bench. And in Minnesota, our summers are so short that, you know, you got to take advantage of everything you can. So most of the summer's outside playing and doing outside chores, mowing and things like that. But it is fall now in Minnesota, and it's time to get back to scale model building. So hope to get a few builds in this winter, but we'll have to wait and see how it goes. So like I said, this is my second build in 30 plus years, so we'll see how it turns out. I got high hopes for this vehicle. I do have a couple of ideas for my next builds in mind, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully by the end of this video I'll learn enough to jump into even more complex modeling. The interior tub here really has a lot of detail in it. If you're thinking about getting this kit, or if you're on the fence about it, just get it. You'll be happy with it, I promise. Some of the parts in this kit, they fit so well. It's like building a snap fit kit. However, this part, it did go together fairly well, but there is some warping on the interior tub, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix that. I think I'm gonna take it over to the sink, run it over some hot water, put a little bend on it, and straighten it out that way. So I got it back from the sink, and it did straighten out some, well enough to glue her together. So the cement that I'm using isn't necessarily a cement per se. You know, like the cement that I had when I was growing up, it came in that metal squeeze tube that was, you know, dangerous to be around. You can glue your parts together on Friday, and hopefully by after church on Sunday, the parts will be dry enough to touch. But this Tamiya extra thin cement is pretty good stuff. It actually doesn't glue it together as much as it does weld the plastic together. It's more of a solvent. Works really well. So with the interior components ready and the transmission ready for paint, I'll box it up and move on to the next piece. The hood was fitting pretty good, but there seemed to be a little bit of warping going on. Maybe a little bit of flash on the underside. Took a little bit of investigation, but eventually I figured it out, and it laid down very, very well. One final little detail to take care of. It fits seamlessly. Like I said, yeah, great kit. So what's next? I think I'll start on the box. Should be fairly easy. Pretty straightforward, I think. Let's see how it goes. Here we are, clipping out some parts for the underneath the box on the PTO. Oh, yep. I did that. As soon as I regained consciousness, I got back to work on the box. I might want to spill that again, just, you know, just because. I maybe should have waited to put the mud flaps on so I can paint them separately, but wasn't really thinking through it very well. So a quick test fit up on this, and things just weren't lining up very well for me. The frame wasn't sitting flush on the box on one side. Looking, what's wrong? I couldn't figure it out. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. Again, another mistake. I didn't glue that spring on flush to the frame, so I had to cut that away. Do a little repairing, glue it back on there, make sure it was flush again. As soon as I got that done, it what the heck, it still didn't fit. Can't figure this out. What's going on now? Thought I had it fixed. Oh, wait a second. Huh. Must be getting late. Oh, all right, let me just flip it around right and see if it fits. Oh yeah, just as it should. Go figure. I wanted to be sure to get that spring re-glued in there flush, so the all four tires would be on the surface at the same time. Otherwise you get some rocking if you don't get the suspension quite right. Quick sip of some tea and it's on to the box sides and front. There's a little bit of cleanup to do on these as well. Some ejector pin marks that I wanted to fill in and sand down. These ones were not proud of the surface. They were indented, so I had to grab some putty and fill those in. I got the old cut up thumb from working that knife. I don't know if anybody else gets that, but every time I do a model and work with an X-Acto knife, I end up with blood all over my parts and slits in my thumbs. Like I said, I wanted to fill in these ejector pin marks, so I grabbed my Tamiya putty. I like this stuff. The only thing that I don't like about it is if it's a deeper indentation, it tends to shrink quite a bit. So you have to put on a coat, and then you got to sand it, and then you got to put on another coat, and then you got to sand it. So it shrinks and the holes are still there at the end. Well folks, that'll do it for this part of the build. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I made some mistakes and I might have even learned from a couple of them. If If you like what you see, hit that like and subscribe button. I don't know what it does when you do that, but everybody is doing it and you don't want to be different, so just do it. Stay informed by hitting the notification button to be sure to catch every one of my future videos. Leave me a comment below and I promise I'll ignore every comment in the order it was received. Again, thanks again for watching, thanks for sticking around, and I hope to see you next time.